I clipped my boss wife hand to the bed and forcefully enter her tight pussy. She was so tight, guess my boss hasn't been using her regularly, he might be preserving her. I was going in so deep and fast while she screamed under me. I went to meet her in my boss' room to have a quick sex with her. I have been wanting her, but that day, I was chanced since my boss rushed to his village for something important. She was shouting and screaming for help, but no one was near could come to her aid. We were the only two in the big house. It started when I returned from the village. I went to my old-time boss for help since I had no one to run to in the city. I left the village to make a better future for myself. No hope for me in the village. Things feel worse every blessed day. I went to his old house to ask if he was willing to have me back in the house. Getting to his house, it was a bit difficult for me. It's been long I left the city and everywhere has been developed. I was just roaming around on the street not knowing which house to knock, everywhere has been built up. Meanwhile, my boss' house was just a 3-bedroom uncompleted building. I was wondering if his house was been thrown away when big men arrived the area. After standing for hours, I couldn't locate him nor his old-time girlfriend around. I decided to leave and find another option. While walking away from the area, a car parked near me and to my greatest surprise, my boss is now a car owner. Before we lost connection, we always walk a long distance since he has no means of transportation. I was surprised seeing him in a car, then different thought started coming to my head. Maybe he finally do ritual when the suffering was too much, or he is into internet fraud. I couldn't stop thinking about his sudden appear in wealth. The moment he parked and rolled down his tinted glass, I started jumping for joy examining the car. He stopped me from being a village boy as he invited me into the car. He drove to one of the biggest gate and he automatically used a remote control to open the gate. He drove to the car garage and we both alighted. I was just surprised seeing his house. I expected him to be in his old house, but he upgraded already. "This is huge," I said. My boss smiled. "Big congratulations." I said again. "Thanks." He stopped me from walking around his cars and we both walk in. I hold tight my small traveling bag to my chest. My boss offered me a seat as he went inside the master's bedroom to meet his wife. I keep looking around the well-furnished house. The house was so big. I guess he must have spent a lot in there. The last time I came around before leaving for my village, my boss was still struggling on how to fix his iron windows. How did he do it to have this mansion in few months? I have came to stay in this house as long as I want. Once a boss is always a boss. While enjoying the cool atmosphere in the house, my eyes catch a picture containing my boss and his wife. I took a close glance at the picture, seems the face looks familiar. Getting closer, I can't believe my eyes. I was amazed. I took a close glance at the picture, seems the face looks familiar. Getting closer, I can't believe my eyes. I was amazed. That's my boss' old-time girlfriend. I can't believe he never left the girl. Though, she was a calm, nice and gentle girl, but most people refer to her as an uncivilized and ugly rough girl. Thought my boss would have left her and have a new girl since he now has money, but he never did that. He stay with the girl who suffer with him. The girl that never pressurize him when he has nothing. Wow, I stand staring at the picture clapping my hands. The footsteps on the stair got me back to myself. My boss was holding his wife as they both walked down like a couple's called out on their wedding day. That I smiled. I greeted bowing my head like an obedient servant. "You know Dennis, right?" My boss asked his wife. "Sure, your apprentice," she said. "Exactly. I thought he came to stay with us for a while, right?" My boss asked staring at me. "A while? That's not right." "I came for full time," I said, and we all burst into laughter. "Can you offer our visitor something to eat?" he asked looking at his wife. "Sure," she said. From where I stand, my spirit started jumping. That's a wife material. But the same spirit spotted her new beauty. Truly, money is good. Everything has changed about her, even her smile. Poverty is a bastard. "You guys should entertain yourself, I will be done in few minutes," she said and walked upstairs. I couldn't stop staring at her while she walked away. She was on bum short. I started licking my lips as she jogged upstairs with her backside shaking like it's about to fall. I look away as soon as possible in order not to get caught by my boss. I sat down with my boss as we both watched the TV and chat along the line. I wasn't concentrating on what my boss was discussing, all I keep thinking is about his wife. That woman was too full. But I have to behave myself or else, I rot in jail. After the discussion with my boss, he concluded that we will both visit his office the following day. The football match was getting interesting not until my boss' wife came shaking her wide big boot to the screen. I lost everything immediately, including my brain. I was acting brainless. Boot is the source of evil. She invited us the moment she finished setting the table. The table was full of different foods and fruit. Money is good, I whisper to myself. I sat like a king on the chair. I have to feel big since I was now living with rich people. Unlike when I was in the village. We all sat on the floor with our iron plate placed right before us. I will never return back to the village, no matter what, city life is the best, I said within myself as my spirit started dancing inside of me. After the dinner, my boss asked his wife to show me the visitor's room. I grab my bag and follow her upstairs. Words can't express the house beauty. I was just wowed. Both downstairs and up were amazing. Everything was speaking about money. She opened a room door and I followed in. Wow, I exclaimed with my mouth opened. You like it here or we should go to next? She asked. This is the best. I said. She smiled. The room isn't too big but it's expensive. Beautiful wallpapers was tagged to the wall. The bed is a big bouncing one. Facing the bed was a plasma TV, it's well connected. With a two-seater chair facing the bed. Both bathroom and toilet door was at the corner of the room. These people are rich. I just wish I could have few minutes to check my future. Things inside this house is oppressing me already. You can change the setup if necessary, my boss wife said. Her voice brought me back to reality. I'm cool with everything in here, I said looking into her eyes. If I had known, would have face front. The moment I look at her eyeballs, I started losing myself. My body. Aroused. I hold her shoulder and we both lock lips. I didn't expect that from her. She was kissing me passionately. I held her back and gently, I found my hand to her ass. I started squeezing so hard. Her ass was so soft in the hand. It was too wide, I couldn't grab it all at once. I hold her so tight as I walk gently with my back trying to locate the bed. We were still kissing while I try locating the bed with back walk. I hit my leg and we both fall to the ground going separately. I hold my head as I start wincing out in pain, then I come back to reality. It was all imagination. I was there thinking while my boss wife tries separating my room key from others. She was such a beautiful lady, everything about her is eye-capturing. He likes it here? My boss asked as he joined us. Yeah, he chooses here. Okay. Here, my boss wife said showing me the keys. Oh. Thanks. Stay cool, my boss said. He hold his wife as they both left. I watch as they both left holding each other. Apparently, I was staring at the wife ass. Dennis, you are a bad boy. My spirit whisper. I slammed the door when I couldn't sight them anymore. I jump on the bed. I'm so happy for myself. The room is all mine now, I smiled. I pull off my clothes, I was half naked. Then, I started walking around in the room. I went for the room light switch. It was showing something strange to me unlike the one placed on the village old wall. I pressed the button down and the room light changed. It was showing different colors. Wow. I press again and the room went dark. Another press turned the white bulb on. I put it back to the colors. I left the switch button immediately. I put it on colors, I headed for the TV. I put it on and sat on the chair. The plasma was a big one, everything displayed on the screen was seen clearly. I was so excited. I slept crossing the bed, I slept off while watching movies. So I couldn't get to position myself on the right place. Don't blame me, it's my first time experiencing wealth. Village life is way different from this. Someone tapped me. I turned to the other side of the bed. I was really enjoying the sleep. The bed is so soft, I couldn't help but sleep like one of the sleepiest animal. The tapping came again. "Dennis, will you leave here now, or I slap you?" I said from the sleep. Immediately I stopped talking, I opened my eyes and I came back to my senses. I looked back to see my boss smiling. I forgot I left the village already. "Welcome, sir," I greeted as I get off bed immediately. "Why wearing only boxers to bed? You aren't in village anymore," boss said. "I'm used to it, with time I will change," I said. I look out through the window, it's dawn already. "Hope you enjoy your sleep." "Yes, sir." "Are you coming with me to work or you want to get yourself together first?" he asked. I wanted to say yes, but the moment I remember I will be alone in the house with his wife I slowed down. Then made a rethink. Should I go? I asked myself, biting my fingers. I won't be, besides, something is coming up at my work today, and I will like you to witness it. I was about telling my boss to let me stay at home when he came up with an idea. With what he just said, I must follow him. I got up from the bed and headed to the bathroom with my stinking boxer. My boss left my room immediately. He went preparing also. I tried as much as I could to use the shower. It has both the hot and cold water, I'm not used to it and I can't call anyone to teach me how it's been used. I came out few minutes later. I put on my native dress and stand before the mirror. I was checking out myself if I'm good to go. After well dressed, I walked down to the sitting room. My boss' wife was busy setting the table for breakfast. I greeted her and sat gently on the couch expecting my boss. "Boy, weren't going for burial. Why putting on natives?" My boss asked, smiling as he stepped down from the stair. "So, I can't go with this?" I asked. "Yeah. My boss' life has changed finally. The native I was putting on is way far better than all the clothes he wore back then. You have to change to something better," he said and dropped his car key, "but, follow me," he said and headed upstairs. I follow him to the master's bedroom. The whole room was so cold with good smell. The room was a large one. I was walking behind him to the wardrobe and I feel myself dozing off. The room was just too cold and the spray was Soul Ginger. He showed me some expensive designer clothes in his wardrobe. I picked one of my choice and he didn't hesitate to give me. He treated like his own son, he has been a good leader ever since I know him. Staying with him in his rich regime, I have a lot to gain from him. I wore the cloth and it was exactly made for me. It fitted. I pack my native and dump it before my door. I will have it sorted once I arrived. I walked downstairs looking myself from head to toe. I was wowed with my new appearance. I'm looking stunning. My boss' wife saw me from the table and she bit her lips looking at me seductively. She bit her lips, why? Did she fall for me already? My walking style changed the moment I saw my boss' wife reaction. I stylishly look away from her pretending not to see her. My heartbeat stopped the moment I look her with my side eye and she blow me kiss from the distance. My heartbeat failed. The kiss she blew almost reached me when my boss sound climbing down the stair got me back. Then, I look at her wife who was busy serving the table. So, I have been imagining rubbish since. That's so bad of me. The boss wife who was blowing me kiss in my imagination wasn't looking at me twice in reality, that's crazy. Done. Let's have breakfast, boss wife said. I walked straight to the table. I sat and took the cutleries. I was busy eyeing my boss wife stylishly. I can't let her know nor my boss. I don't know what's wrong with me, it's my second day in the house and I wasn't focused. Instead, I was planning to bite the finger that feeds me. The moment I thought about myself and the reason for coming to the house, I turned my gaze from the wife straight to the food. I made sure to erase everything concerning her off my mind. I gulped down some water after cleaning the food off my plate. Are you satisfied? She asked. Yeah, thanks. I said without looking at her to avoid another temptation. Better don't be shy, there is food in excess, my boss said. I smiled and left the table. Few minutes later. We enter the car and zoom off to work. I was impressed getting to my boss' large store. He graduated from producing exercise books for students to owning a big shop where he sold in bulk. His manager was already active at work. He has few workers as well who run the store. He do bid for contract from bigger companies. Those are my few workers, but from now on, you will be my PA. You will be tagging along with me anytime job opportunities comes from outside. I want you to learn how to converse with customer and some other stuff you need to know, my boss explained. Feel like to grab and cuddle her from the back. She turn on the gas while I help washing the dishes. I watch her putting pot on the fire while adding water to it. I wasn't concentrating on the dishes, all my attention was diverted to her. I was staring and smiling at her. I pick up some jokes when everywhere was so boring. I made sure to make her laugh forgetting she wasn't with her husband. I want her to be free with me so I can easily get into her. My jokes was getting her so hard, she was laughing just like a baby. Her smile was so cool and her laugh makes her look more beautiful. Even if she was angry, I guess her beauty will cover up for her. When I was out of jokes, I started some talk about relationships. From there, she drove me to sex talks. I can't believe she can start something of such with me. She was talking about sex. Using my dick as an example of the talk. If you were to be the boss, what would you have done? Tell us in the comments section and where you are watching from. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on your notification. Thanks for watching, see you in my next video.